If rainbow flags were the fashion of English people and we wore them all the time, I'm sure Qatar would let us in with the t-shirts. If nobody ever wears them in history and you show up at the arena with one, you are intentionally trying to provoke a culture into telling you to go home and change your t-shirts. You can paint you as the bad guy.
The 2022 FIFA World Cup is Qatar.
Do you think gay is haram?
It's haram. Because why is haram? I am not one big Muslim, but it's haram. Why? Because it's damaging the mind.
Qatar is the safest country in the Middle East, one of the top countries in the world in terms of safety. Qatar is a welcoming and hospitable country, and we promise that it'll be an exciting and enjoyable World Cup. And everybody's welcome. We've always said we extend our arms in welcoming people to our home, and we look forward to hosting them here. And I think there's nothing that fans should be worried about. We encourage them.
And I believe that they should crack some skulls. That was the gist of what I said.
Imagine being a generic football fan, just a guy who likes football. Yeah, just bring it in.
Come in.
Imagine being a generic football fan, just a guy who likes football. You don't give a shit about any of these political statements, any of this garbage. And now all of a sudden you're, by just watching the football games and supporting football, you're on the side of mass. I don't even know what you are. What are they doing? Mass degeneracy? Like, it's insanity. Can't you just like football now?
Or can't you just, have sex with who you want in your house without having to show everyone in the World Cup?
Bro, you're lucky I'm not Mr. Producer, because I saw some English TV show. There was an English TV show. Thanks. There's an English TV show. Just leave it, bro. Thanks. There was an English TV show, and it's one of these guys. He's one of them football pundits. I don't know. And it's BBC Two or something. There's a full 3-minute singing and dancing, just saying how important it is to have rainbow armbands. Why? I don't get it. Why can't people just play football? Why do they have to mix in this agenda with everything?
Yeah, I don't
It's like
understand.
the West has no culture besides that. It's the last piece of culture, the pride flag. And I don't give a shit if people are gay. I don't care. You can be as gay as you want. But why do you have to not? Why did you go to another country and make sure that they understand how important it is that you believe that that's a big important thing? Like,
Some of the best countries in the world today are the first world Muslim nations.
Yeah.
You can go to Qatar, you can fall asleep with $1 million on your lap in the middle of the street. Nothing's going to happen.
Saudi Arabia as
You
well.
can go to Saudi, nothing will happen to you. You can go to Dubai, UAE, nothing's
They
going to
leave
happen
their
to you.
cars parked with the keys inside.
It's so safe.
Welcome to the new Muslim Tate.
Andrew, in the argument of love is love and we should celebrate and make legal all types of love, if you are from Qatar and you are a Muslim and you live in England, you cannot legally marry 3 or 4 women. Polygamy is against the law in England. So if we were to hold the World Cup in England, could the Qatari players have their pro-polygamy, pro-multi-wife armbands on? But I don't think they would.
I don't think they would.
No, because they don't want to push their culture on other people. They're just happy being who they are. And I think that that's what every culture should do.
yeah, because it's absolutely and utterly arrogant to believe that your worldviews are somehow shared by every other nation on earth. It's actually amazing that the West pretends to be moral and has any kind of moral high ground. If you look at the track records of the West, whether it's starting wars or look at some of the ideas the Matrix is purporting now.
I did say this yesterday.
Yeah, there's Matrix. I mean, the ideas that the Matrix is purporting now amongst the populations of the West are absolutely and utterly degenerate. They're not moral. You're going to sit there and say that, it's okay to chop people's dicks off at the age of 8 and 9, and that's somehow good. And then you want to talk to others about morality. There's absolutely nothing moral about the West. The West is disgusting in many various forms, and for them to sit there and pretend that they know so much more than other countries is absolutely and utterly disrespectful.
People, when they come to countries, and I will say the same about the United Kingdom and the United States, or any country in the world, need to respect the country's culture, the country's principles, the country's laws. If you go to Singapore, you're not allowed to have chewing gum, for example. Chewing gum is illegal. They don't like the way it sticks to the streets. It makes garbage cleanup more difficult. They've made chewing gum illegal. Now, I can say, we chew gum in my country. I'm going to go over to Singapore and chew gum. Good. I hope they throw me in jail. And I hope they throw any people like that in jail who are openly disrespecting the laws and rules of a country. The West, you have to understand, is not a moral superpower. They are not the kings of morality who set in stone the laws of the universe and tell every single country, you are immoral, you are not immoral, you are just, you are unjust.
All the things we're talking about, all the problems we have here, right? They've got none of that. None of it. But because of Islam. Women have big families. Women are exceptionally happy to do so. Society is functioning. Their population is growing, because in most Western countries, the population is declining. So we have population problems in the West. They have none of the population problems. Society starts at the smallest possible group. You have families, and families make a street, and that street makes a village, and that village makes a town, that town makes a city, and that city makes a country. So if it's broken at the very fundamental level, if its family level is broken, then it's broken the whole way up.
Yep.
And that's what's happened in the West. And the first world Islamic countries have none of those problems.
But considering it's such a massive entertainment tool, by extension making it a tool of the Matrix, them trying to attach it so desperately to an agenda which they're trying to enforce and force down the necks of every single person on the planet is not an accident. This has nothing to do with love. This has nothing to do with love. Nobody cares if a man and a man enjoy each other's company in private. Nobody cares. In fact, I would argue in most Middle Eastern countries, if a man and a man keep themselves to themselves and enjoy each other's company in public, in private, nothing bad will happen to them. True. You're just not allowed to run around in public and talk about it because they don't find it cohesive and conducive to their religious beliefs, which is fair.
The crimes that the West commits, from the proxy wars even being fought right now in certain countries that I won't mention for the sake of not bringing that topic up, to the open invasions and murder and genocide of tens of thousands of people, the crimes that the West commits certainly disqualify it from being the moral high ground of the world. So when English people, German people, and American people try to get high in and say, oh, well, you know, I'm not allowed to wear rainbow flag t-shirts and rainbow flag armbands and rainbow colored hair and rainbow flag pants. I'm not allowed to do that. Why aren't I allowed to do that in Qatar? Why can't I come to your football stadiums and wear all these rainbow colored flags? The thing is about this, in the Middle East, privacy is very, very respected. There are lots of gay people who live in Dubai. There's lots of gay people who live all throughout the Middle East, and they go to their houses behind their closed doors, and their business is their business. And people have been living like this for a very long time.
I have absolute respect for the ideology, respect for the mentality, respect for the warrior aspect of it.
There are people in the world who will punch you in the face if you insult Jesus Christ, if you insult Jesus Christ or the Virgin Mary or anything. And those people are the Muslims. Now, if you don't know religion and you don't know religious history very well, then I guess you don't know that one of the most important prophets in Islam is Jesus, son of Mary, as they refer to him, or Jesus Christ, as us Christians call him. So this Dubai, the Middle East, the United Arab Emirates, the Muslim world is a part of the world where you cannot walk around and freely insult Jesus.
This is not actually about gay or straight. If you understand Qatar's morality laws, and when Andrew keeps talking about degeneracy, I would not be allowed in Qatar to have a t-shirt saying, I love having sex with my wife. You can't advertise any kind of private sexual relation or behavior to the public world. Children don't need to be reading this, but that's essentially what the rainbow flag means. I like having sex with men. I think men should have sex with one another. I'm fine with men having sex with one another. Why is your t-shirt about what adults get up to? There are teenage boys and young people watching these football games. Why is your t-shirt about adult sexual relations? It's nothing to do with gay or straight, because all forms of indecency are legal in the Middle East, and so they should be. I like their laws. I think they're nice.